Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and this is part 9 of the question and answer videos. I have now moved on to the first question and answer video comment section, and now I'm going to be answering those questions. So if you have new questions, post them in the comment section of this or one of the other videos from 2 forward. Don't post them on 1 because I will have already overlooked it. Okay? Okay, here we go. This is a question from GMoney271414. This is a two-part question. One, will you do more watch me paint videos? Yes, I already have, and I plan to continue, though they aren't getting as many views after part 1 and part 2 as I would like, so I might speed them up and condense them even more, or I might not do them anymore. We'll see. It depends on views. If you guys keep watching them, then I'll keep doing them. If you don't watch them, I won't do them. And part 2 of his question, can you do a tutorial on how to sculpt armor on figures? No. There's no really tutorial. You just put the sculpt on, make it look like the armor you want, and make it look the same on both sides. So, I mean, that's essentially all I would have to say while I'm doing it. And me saying that's not going to help you because you already know that. So all you can do in order to be good at that is to just do it. Practice, 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 and you'll be able to do it. That's what I always say when people ask for help with sculpting. I can't help you. All I can do is tell you to get out there and practice and do it. There you go. Alright. Captain Idiot, which is somebody I've already answered questions for in the past. Again, if you have multiple questions, that's fine. Just keep them coming. Hey Anthony, my question is, what is your favorite toy line of all time? That's a good question. I really like all of my import toys a lot. I really like my Halo 3 toys a lot. I like Marvel Legends. But my favorite toy line, I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna cheat and say as of right now, my favorite toy line is all of my small scale imports, just because they generally have the highest quality control and highest satisfaction per figure. I guess that's a tough one to answer. I like a lot. Oh, Beast Wars 2 and Transformer. I can't pick. I take it back. I can't pick. These questions are too difficult. I can't do it. Alright. Here's a question from Aphrodite D. I guess it's Pixies. How can you be so hot like that? That's a real question. I'm gonna go ahead and not answer that. Sorry, it's not a real question. I think it's rhetorical. So thanks for participating though. Alright, here's a question from Mubdi Khan. And the question is, why don't you get or review 3 3/4 inch figures? And my response is this. I don't like I said before, I like interactivity with my figures. So the smaller they get, the less you can do with them. I know the Marvel Universe and some of the Star Wars have good articulation, but they're just not as much fun to pose or to have or to even just admire because they're smaller, the sculpts aren't necessarily as good, paint's not necessarily as good, so I try not to go too small. I think the Halo figures from McFarlane and my import figures, that's what I keep looking at over there by the way, that's really as small as I'll probably go. I don't like to get too small because then you lose part of the fun that's in the figure for me. Here's a question from Mark Pahilanga. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I tried. How do you price your customs in US dollars? No. Well, it is US dollars, but I generally figure out what parts it's going to take from other figures. I look at how technically involved it is, how much sculpting there's going to be, what kind of painting there's going to be. Time frame does matter sometimes. If somebody needs a custom, and this generally doesn't happen since there's a long wait list for commissions, but if somebody needs a custom really fast, it might cost more because I'll have to spend more time on that, but that's generally not an issue. I don't think I've even had to do that yet. So it's just everything that has to go into it. I mean, even what parts or what supplies I'm going to need. Some paints cost more than others. You know, some paints, a jar of paint like this little half-ounce jar or pot of paint, these are like $4. So the big ones, like this, can cost, you know, like $6 even. So it can get pretty pricey just in paint alone. So it depends on what I'm going to need for the figure, and that's how I price the figures. Alrighty, good question. Let's go on. I've already answered that one. Sorry, not going to answer it again. Already answered that one. Alright, I'll talk about this a little bit more. Ultratron563, what are your opinions on the Marvel Universe line, and do you have any? Like I said, I don't typically like smaller figures. I think for the scale though, and if you focus on the later part of what they've made, it's a really solid line. The figures are looking really good. They have a lot of detail, a lot of articulation, good paints for that scale. I don't know if they can be beat. They're really good. I don't really collect them at all. I think I have a small Silver Surfer to go with my Build-A-Figure Galactus, but that might be it. So I don't really collect them, no. Alright, here's a question from Inventory X. How do you handle cloth with figures? I understand you do not use real cloth, but what do you use to reference cloth? Would you be willing to use real cloth later on? Well, I have used real cloth one time, well, 2 times, 3 times. 2 of them were scarves that were cloth, but they were just scarves that were bendable for 2 Ninjas figures that I made, so that's okay. And then the other time is when I made the Cloaked Master Chief for Halo Xbox One. That worked out because of the larger scale. The cloth was okay to use, but generally on small figures that are like 6-inch scale, having the cloth on the figure, the scaling doesn't work. You're going to have really big threads, and it's not going to look right. So I don't like that, and it hangs funny. So I don't like that at all. So I try to sculpt what I can in terms of cloth, and all I do is I look at clothing and see how it would hang, and I try to imitate that. So that's pretty much it. And would I be willing to use it in the future, real cloth that is? It depends on the application. The scarves worked because of what type of material it was and that it was just a scarf. But if you want like a shirt and pants on a figure, you can forget about it. That's not going to happen. Okay, here's a question from Durango Fett. I'm pretty sure I've gotten asked a question similar to this, but we'll try. This is a 3-parter. Which Marvel Legend is my favorite? Again, that's a really tough one. I really like the quality on the Colossus figure. The standard original Marvel Legends Colossus is a really good figure. I really like the Return of Marvel Legends Thor. That's a really good figure. And I really like the McFarlane Spider-Man. So I can't really pick one though. My least favorite, there's a lot that I hate. I really don't care for I'm gonna say Scarlet Witch. That figure is pretty bad. Don't care for that one very much at all. Wait, no. I just remembered I even did a review on the worst Marvel Legends figure ever, and that is the Spider-Man Classics Black Cat. Or she might have been in a box set, actually. I hate that figure, the old Black Cat. Hate it. Alright, and then he also asked what my favorite custom was. I don't know. Here's a good question from Darkness GTR1, a regular viewer. If I could keep just one of my customs that I've made, which would it be? It would be the Master Chief I made for the charity auctions. I really wish I made one for myself, but that would have detracted from the appeal of that figure for the auction, so I didn't do it. But I would have liked to keep that one. And Kevin Nace asks, if SH Figure Arts was to create a new line of figures and it was up to you, what line would you choose and why? Well, they're already doing Mario. We know that, so I don't have to choose something like that. So the Nintendo brand, I hope they're going to continue that and spread it out, and we get a Super Smash Brothers lineup. I would really like to see Figure Arts tackle... I know I think I'm kind of contradicting myself from my last video or two ago maybe. I don't want to do a whole Halo line, but if I could get a Master Chief and an Arbiter out of them, I would love that. So I would like to see a couple Halo figures from Figure Arts, from Bandai. Good question. Alright, here's one from Morbid Curiosity. What Street Fighter characters do you think should come next from Play Arts Kai? Good question. And that's a hard one to answer because I want all of the original 8 and then 12. So I want the ones everybody considers to be the main group of fighters. I want all of them. But I would really like to see M. Bison, Sagat, and Vega. I think those would make great figures. Blanca too, but primarily, I think if I had to narrow it down, I think Play Arts would just make an awesome Vega and M. Bison. I like Sagat too, but he has less appeal in terms of character design. It's just basically a guy in shorts. So he's cool, but Bison and Vega have a lot more going for him. So I would really, 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 if you're listening, Square Enix, please make Vega and M. Bison. And you can even switch names around then. Or can't you? No, you can't. Because Balrog's not in there. Because I don't really care for Balrog too much. He's a pretty one-dimensional character. Okay, never mind. Here's a good question. Jose Sanchez. I'm assuming it's Jose Sanchez. It could be Josie, but I don't think so. My question is if you like to receive fan mail or packages from fans and how we can support your art and craft. Well, I would like to receive fan mail, to be completely honest, and packages, because packages contain goodies, and I like goodies. Here's the thing. I don't have a PO box right now, a P.O. box. They are, at least in my area, really quite expensive to maintain a P.O. box. And I'm not sure how they work. I don't know if I get one of the really little ones that's like letter shaped. You know, you can fit letters in there. I don't know if I get a package, if they will hold it for me for the P.O. box or not. So if anybody can expound upon that, please let me know if you have any experience with P.O. boxes. In the future, I may decide to just give out my address, or to, I don't know if that's a good idea though, because some of you guys kind of weird me out a little bit, but I might have a P.O. box, and then in which case I'll just post that, and you can send whatever you want, as long as it's awesome, and for me, you can send it. And how can you support my art and craft? Well, once I do that, you can do that. But in the meantime, what you can do, and this one's pretty easy, watch the videos. Watching my videos, believe it or not, is really helpful to me. Also, while you're watching the videos, comment on the videos. Your participation, I'm not just doing this because I like to talk into a camera. I would like your interaction, so do that. And in terms of the nitty-gritty of the whole thing, of how YouTube works, if you're watching my videos, watch them all the way to the end. And if you really want to get creative, watch more than one video at a time. When on that little box over on the right, which would be over there, or over there, it's over there. Because if you're shooting at me, which means I'm looking this way, the box that's on the right, or the bar on the right, click on those videos and just watch a couple videos at a time. That's helpful. Believe it or not, the way the algorithms work, that's all helpful to me. It promotes, doing that will help get my videos to pop up in that section more. So doing that would help. And then, like I said, just watching, share the videos with your friends, that kind of thing. The more you watch, the more I can do on YouTube, and then it's better for everybody. So that's how you can support me. So I do appreciate that question very much, and I'll appreciate even more if you heed what I say. But the P.O. box, don't forget to get back to me on that, people. It's a good one. Alright, one more question for this video, and then it's the end of this video. DinkyBoy03. Will you be picking up and reviewing the Figma Spider-Man, and what are your top 5 Marvel Legends figures? Figma Spider-Man, no. Top 5 Marvel Legends, I think I mentioned some before. I don't know. That's a really hard question to answer, so I can't answer that. If you want me to review an import Spider-Man figure, stay tuned for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Mafex Spider-Man. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. So look out for that one. Alright guys, that's the end of that segment of video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Q&A videos. Keep posting your questions at the bottom. Stay tuned for more custom figures, figure reviews, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.